Welcome everybody to Just Us. This is our 12th, right Sandy?
Yeah.
Our 12th episode. That looked like 7 to me.
You got very
You didn't see the first 10.
Oh, I didn't see the first 10. Okay. All right, we're so happy to have everybody who's still with us, following us. It's very, very appreciated by all of us and our guests. And thank you all. So keep coming because we've got some continually great ideas. All right, first things first. Introductions, just real quick. I'm Sandra Baskin. I'm the host today. Co-host is Sandy Gulliver. Other co-host is Daryl Anisfeld. And in case you haven't noticed, we have some young blood with us. This is really fun. I'd like to introduce Peyton Owen.
Hello. Hello.
Full disclosure, Peyton is my grandson. And Skylar McClure.
Hi.
Hi, Skylar. I would love if she was my granddaughter, but she is not. She's somebody else's granddaughter. Okay, these two are founding.
We couldn't tell Peyton's your grandson by looking at him.
Can you?
You're almost
really?
identical.
Don't say that.
Don't say that to who?
That's a total compliment to me. I don't know about him.
Wow.
Might not be a compliment to him that he looks like me. Okay, so these two are two of the founders of their company, which is called Four Seasons, a performing arts company. Their mission statement is, I'm just going to double check my notes here because mission statements are important and this is the way they wrote it up. Their mission is to increase the opportunities for performers in this area. And as you can tell by their age, they're teenagers. Generally, I would say always so far, you all have teenagers performing, right?
Yeah.
And you started out doing, you can explain this yourself. You started out doing performances like at a park and so forth, and you've expanded that amazingly. And we're going to let you talk about that. So give us a little history on your beginnings. And by the way, it's a nonprofit company. And give us a history on your beginnings, guys, if you will. And then whoever wants to ask questions can. And by the way, one more thing, we're going to have them do a little duet song at the end.
Hey.
Yeah, so just some background on Four Seasons. So this whole company idea actually started back in I want to say the end of our 8th grade year. We're both now juniors, so it's been quite a few years. But it actually started through this idea. It was right around the time that The Greatest Showman had come out, that very popular movie. And my sister Maggie and I were kind of just jamming to some music, to that music, while listening to, while doing our homework. And she kind of came up with this idea to put on a concert of music from The Greatest Showman. So I kind of have to admit that this whole idea did sort of stem from my sister.
I love it.
And so, to be fair, I did also shut down the idea first. I thought it was not that great of an idea. And I thought about it and was like, wow, we've got a lot of really talented young artists in our area. And so we put it together, and it wasn't great because it was our first one. But we had a total blast doing it. And because we enjoyed that concert so much, we continued to keep it going. And after about the second concert of ours, which was a Disney themed concert that raised over $500, we were like, this is something that we really love to do. And so we kind of decided to actually make it into a company. And now we've raised over $4,000 for charity in the past couple of years and put on, we're working on our 4th big production and a ton of smaller stuff. So it's been a really, really fun project for us and something that we love to do.
That's terrific. And why don't you have Skylar explain? Go ahead, Sandy, you ask your question first.
I was going to ask, it started out in your backyard, your first concert. Obviously, you've not been able to do anything live for a year, but where were you performing before the pandemic started? Where will you be performing after we're cleared to go back out?
Yeah, so before the pandemic started, we performed at different parks and different like places such as that. For our Disney concert, we performed at this park that was like a little island. It was really cute. It was really pretty. There was water behind us.
In Geneva, Island Park, Batavia, or
Yeah.
Batavia, I don't know.
Yeah, one of the two. And then we also performed at Theater at the Wit, I believe.
Theater Wit in Chicago, yeah.
Yeah, Theater Wit in
wow.
Chicago. We performed Limelight, which is an original show by Casey Lyons. And so that was a really cool opportunity to be able to perform there. And then while the pandemic was kind of going on, we also filmed at another park that was in Aurora, I think, somewhere around here.
In North Aurora.
Where it was a pavilion, and we filmed there, and then put that on our YouTube channel. And that was a song cycle, so it was all original music by original artists, and it was really cool to be able to hear from like these young voices. And then after the pandemic, I mean, same thing. Parks, we're hoping to get into another theater at some point. Because that was such a cool experience. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at, kind of all over the place.
Explain that a little more about original music, because I've seen a lot. They had a Friday night open mic thing for every other Friday for quite a while. And many of those teenagers wrote the songs that they sang, right?
Yeah, so I mean, that's one of the reasons that we wanted to do this open mic night series, is what that every Friday night or every other Friday night series was, which we had different singers from around the area kind of join our Instagram live and perform a song for us and our audience. And a lot of them were original music. And it was a great thing for us to do, because it did allow us to open up a lot more opportunities for younger performers. But in terms of that song cycle that we did, that was focused solely on original music, we had a couple of different performers perform their original music, their own work. And we kind of transformed it into like a music video sort of video, and put them together, and posted that in December.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about each of your backgrounds, how you got involved, how you became actors / performers? Yeah,
so I've been performing since I was 7 years old. Doing musical theaters. My first show was The King and I at the Prisco Center, the Fox Valley Prisco Center. But I was taking voice lessons at age 5. And then I took a couple of years off at some point between there. And then
you took a couple of years off because you were tired, or?
No, I don't know. I think I was
Soccer,
young.
maybe?
Yeah, soccer probably, because when I was younger, I was very involved with soccer, and then I ended up stopping that because theater was what I liked better, and I couldn't do both things. But yeah, so I've been doing theater since I was 7. I did my first professional show at age 5th grade, I believe. So that was an amazing experience to be able to do that. And then I've also done like background work on like Chicago Fire, Chicago PD. I was in the movie Sinister 2. I played the Christmas daughter, so that was really cool. But yeah, that's kind of my background.
Peyton?
I also have been in theater since I was 7. Actually, my first show was with Skylar at the Frisco, and it was Beauty is a Beast, not Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
2 different things. But I have also been doing theater since I was young, and I started my professional journey when I was 10 as well. And I got the lucky chance to work in Chicago from 6 different shows for a couple of years. And I've also been doing voice lessons since I was in 4th grade with the same teacher. So it's been quite almost 9 years now with him, and I've tapped for a while as well. So acting has kind of always been my passion, more so than singing and dancing, but I love it all. And yeah.
And now you're more like a director, both of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So at what point then did you decide to make it into a 501c3?
So we're actually in the process of making the 501c3. We're raising money for that because it's a pretty expensive adventure to do that, and starting to get into some of the paperwork. So we're hoping to have the 501c3 finalized maybe by the end of this 2020-21 season of ours.
Mhm.
What
And who do you-
advantage will that give you?
The biggest advantage of the 501c3 is we find more access to a lot of funding for productions. I mean, 501c3 is usually known for the whole tax exempt status. So people who donate to us can write it off in their taxes, and we can we can avoid taxes for the money that we take in.
Yeah.
But the real addition for us is we have more access to money that can help us fund our productions.
Right, which would mean we would get to do more shows like at places like Theater Wit, where we could like rent spaces and just really expand our outreach, because we would be able to get more money to fund the company.
Yes, and then who do you donate to?
We've donated to a couple of different charities. We've kind of tried to diversify in terms of who we're donating to. So our first couple productions, we donated to a nonprofit called Kids Matter, which focuses on teenagers who might need a little bit more of help in our area. And they were great to work with.
Yeah.
And then we donated to Saving Tiny Hearts for our Limelight production. And then most recently, we've been giving our money to Chicago Children's Theater, which is a organization in Chicago that puts on theater material that's aimed towards younger audiences, and they have been just fantastic partners.
Yeah, super sweet over there for sure.
And I'm sure you can find others that will be delighted to have your donations.
I'll have their hands up.
Yeah.
Hopefully by next year, you'll be able to perform a whole lot more in front of an audience. Much different.
And here they are juniors and have lost a whole year kind of sort of for the outdoor stuff.
So how many performers do you have in your group?
It varies quite a bit. We usually, in most of our concerts, I want to say we average about 10 to 15 different performers for each show. But depending on the project, sometimes we'll have as few as one for one specific spotlight, up to, our most recent project, Broadway Battles, that we just announced, has close to 30 actually. So
yeah. And then there's 3 other kids besides us that are on the company board. So 5 of us total. And then we recently brought on 3 kids that are freshmen in high school to be our junior board to eventually, hopefully, take over the company once we graduate.
That's what I was wondering. What happens after you go away to college?
It has been a pretty hot topic on what happens, on whether or not we want to keep it going with us, close up shop, but we've kind of settled on turning this into something that maybe lasts beyond us. So we're hoping to, get some more younger performers in now to kind of follow what we're doing. So hopefully when we leave, they can, take over our roles.
That is totally commendable, because you could have just dropped it when you went on to the next part of your life. And this is going to be great for kids. I think that's terrific. The question I had earlier, well, not a question. Tell us about, Peyton has often told me anyway, Skylar, that you're just amazing at marketing. And he gives you tons of credit for what you've done with that. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do with that?
Yeah, so I am our co-creative director as well as our marketing director at Four Seasons. So with marketing, I run all of our social media, which has been such a sense of joy for me throughout this pandemic, is being able to really be creative with the different posts and stuff. And so we started, when I took over social media, we started with about, I would say, 100 followers maybe, and now we're at, I think, 373. So we've grown a lot, which is really exciting to watch that growth for me. I've enjoyed it a lot. And so kind of what I do besides posting on social media is creating graphics with Peyton, which is so much fun. I love.
We do a lot of tag teaming on the graphics for sure.
Yeah, and it's been so much fun to be creative in that way, because it's not something that I've ever really been creative in before, but I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, she's been great.
Thank you.
So then,
I would like to commend them.
Will you then study marketing in college, or in combination with the musical theater?
Yeah, that's something that I've definitely considered. I'm not 100% sure what my plans are for college. I'm kind of all over the place, if I'm being honest. I've thought about studying musical theater. I've thought about studying business. I've thought about studying speech pathology. So I'm kind of a little bit all over the place right now with college plans.
That's okay.
In a couple months, I can kind of find something to really focus on.
I will tell you that most of us did not wind up doing what we majored in college in our
Yeah.
life. So that's not a surprise. Peyton, probably you should answer the same question.
Yes.
I am a little bit more, confident in where I think I want to go in. I am definitely going into the acting path. So my plan right now is to major in acting. And then depending on whether or not I go to a conservatory or just a university, I will potentially minor in business so I can learn more about this stuff and potentially maybe keep that going in my life as well.
Great.
You have a
So
lot
it
of great
sounds
places
like-
close to home.
It sounds like you're both going to be doing something that you love, which means that you will never have to work a day in your life.
That is the
that's
plan.
right. Yeah. I don't know. Have you heard that? If you're
Yeah.
doing something you love, you're really
Yeah.
not working. I mean, the kids. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
Sandy's for sure right about that. Daryl, you said a lot of possibilities close to home.
Yes,
I'd
there
like,
are. Within Chicago,
I
I
doubt
mean,
they want us
Northwestern certainly is one of the top acting schools that you'll find. DePaul has a wonderful acting school, as does Loyola, as does Columbia,
right?
as does Roosevelt.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just even so if you don't want to travel too far, Chicago is really still, it started with Second City and Chicago has been a breeding ground, which sounds terrible, but they've been a fertile ground for building actors and building repertoire and building knowledge. So it's a very exciting place to be. But of course, there's many other choices too.
Yeah, I bet. Most kids don't want to go that close to home.
Yeah.
Peyton's mom went to DePaul after we looked at 5 other far away ones and is delighted that she did that because she totally fell in love with the city. So you never know what can happen. And how are we doing on time there?
Yeah, I have gotten to set the timer, but I'm sensing that it's been about 15 minutes. So I think we should hear a song.
Let's do it.
Don't you?
Okay.
Yep. These two are going to sing a song and we'll be quiet.
So this is First Date Last Night from the musical Dogfight, which is actually one of the musicals that we have talked about in our podcast series. So enjoy.
Okay.
Street lamp, dim glow. Lights a blanket night like summer snow. Well, let it pour. Just cover up whatever came before.
Sea breeze whips through and makes you do some stuff you never do. Talking queer. Why the hell are you still here?
And we go bum
Bum,
bum
bum, bum,
bum bum bum
bum,
bum
bum,
bum bum
bum,
bum
bum,
bum.
bum.
Don't know why I decided to come. Don't know why I decided to come. Meet me halfway. A touch and go, don't know what to say. Do we talk? What? Don't expect too much, just walk.
Blank slate, blank stare. Yeah, you made her cry. Why do you care? What took hold? Look at her. She looks so cold. And we go bum bum bum
Bum
bum
bum bum bum
bum
bum bum bum bum bum. Don't know why I decided to come.
Don't know why I decided to come.
So up if you had stayed. You might miss anything at home. I could have said first date
Last night. Not quite what you pictured, but alright. So take her out.
give him a shot.
Cause people can surprise you. Or not.
And we go bum 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 bum
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, it was a little quiet, but you know what? We could hear you. It's a
Yeah.
cute song.
And what
Yeah.
show was that from?
Dogfight the musical.
I'm gonna look that up on YouTube because I wanna see where it fits into the story. I tell you the truth, I've never heard of that musical.
It actually never made it to Broadway. It was only an off-Broadway musical, but
Yeah.
it was written, the music was composed by the same people who composed Dear Evan Hansen. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can see
You do it real cute
Yeah,
together. I would have loved it if we had all, been in a different setting, but that's great. Maybe we'll have you on again in months or something at an outside thing. Who knows?
yeah.
Maybe.
I would love to hear you without masks.
And I would like to commend both of them for wearing their masks. I know they
Mhm.
always do. And it's great. It's a time we all have to be reminded. Even the maybe even sometimes, especially the teenagers, right? To wear
Especially the
Yeah.
teenagers.
Yeah.
Especially, even the teenagers say, especially the teenagers.
No,
Oh, thank you both so much. Ladies, you have anything else for them?
no, I'm just looking forward to following your progress.
Yep.
I
me
know
too.
you're both gonna be very successful.
Thank you
We
so
appreciate
much.
that. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, I stole your thunder.
Okay, so where you're
Love
going.
it.
Just know this, we are on Facebook, Just Us Talk Show, and you'll be posted there along. Sandy is in charge of that, and she'll be putting some links, right, to the Four Seasons, yeah. And I do Instagram. There will be a link there that will be live as of Wednesday afternoon. And of course, we would love for you to let your friends know so that they might come and watch it. And a
Absolutely.
million thanks for coming on. I know you got something to do here right away, so we will let you loose.
Thanks for
Thank you
Thank
coming.
you so
much.
much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.